The town of Hollow Creek was a quiet place, the kind of town where everyone knew each other, and doors were left unlocked at night. But on the outskirts of town, past the old mill and beyond the withered oak trees, there was a stretch of forest no one dared enter. They called it Black Hollow Woods, and for good reason. Strange things happened there. Whispers carried on the wind when there was no breeze. Shadows moved even when the trees were still. And sometimes, only sometimes, people went in and never came out. It was said that something lived in those woods, something that watched, waited. No one could describe it, because no one who had seen it ever returned. But one girl would change everything. On a crisp autumn night, 4 teenagers stood at the edge of Black Hollow Woods, flashlights in hand, breath curling in the cold air. "It's just a stupid story," Aaron scoffed, flicking his flashlight beam toward the towering trees. "There's nothing in there but squirrels and raccoons." "Then prove it," Claire challenged, crossing her arms. "Go in, touch the old well, and come back." Aaron rolled his eyes but took a step forward. Behind him, Liam and Sophie exchanged nervous glances. The well she spoke of was deep within the woods, and legend said if you stared into its depths for too long, something stared back. Aaron didn't believe in ghost stories. With a smirk, he strode into the darkness. His friends watched as his flashlight beam bobbed deeper into the trees until it disappeared entirely. Then came the scream. A blood-curdling, gut-wrenching wail tore through the forest, sending a murder of crows shrieking into the sky. The flashlight flickered back on, spinning wildly, crashing through branches. And then, silence. Liam was the first to move. "Aaron!" he called, voice trembling. No answer. "We have to go after him." Claire shook her head violently. "No way. Didn't you hear that? Something got him." "He could be hurt," Sophie whispered, her voice barely audible. But even she didn't step forward. The wind howled through the trees, and for a moment it almost sounded like laughter. The Watcher. They ran. Leaves crunched beneath their frantic footsteps as they sprinted back to town. They told the police everything, but when a search party entered the woods the next morning, there was no sign of Aaron. No footprints. No flashlight. Not even a broken branch. It was as if he had never existed at all. For weeks, Hollow Creek was on edge. No one entered the woods. No one spoke of that night. But the air had changed. Thicker, heavier. And then the sightings began. First, it was Mr. Dawson, who swore he saw a shadow lurking at the tree line, taller than any man, unmoving. Then Mrs. Caldwell, who found footprints leading to her back porch, stopping just outside her window. And then Claire saw it. One night, as she lay in bed, something whispered her name. At first, she thought it was the wind. But then she saw it. A shape standing in her yard, staring up at her window. It was tall, impossibly thin, its face lost in darkness, and though she couldn't see its eyes, she knew it was looking at her, watching. A rustling sound came from behind her. She turned sharply to see her closet door, slightly open. Her breath caught in her throat, and then she realized the thing outside wasn't alone. It had already come inside, and it was waiting. The next morning, Claire didn't come to school. Liam and Sophie waited for her at lunch, exchanging uneasy glances when she never showed. They texted her. No response. That evening, they went to her house. Her mother answered the door, her eyes red and swollen. "She's gone," she whispered, voice hollow. Her bed was untouched. The front door was locked. "But she's gone." Liam's stomach churned. "Have you called the police?" Mrs. Reynolds nodded numbly. "They found her footprints leading to the window, and another set, much larger, leading away." A cold dread settled over Sophie. "Larger? Like an adult's?" Mrs. Reynolds shook her head. "Number larger than that." They left in silence, their breath fogging in the cold air. Liam and Sophie stood on the sidewalk, staring at Claire's darkened window. And then, deep in the trees, something moved. A shape. Watching. Waiting. The streetlights flickered, and for a moment, Sophie swore she saw a hand. Long fingers, too many joints, curling around Claire's windowsill before vanishing into the night. The town that forgot days passed. Then weeks. Search parties combed the woods, but Claire was never found. Her name faded from conversations. Hollow Creek carried on, as if she had never existed. But Liam and Sophie remembered. And they weren't alone. Sometimes at night, they would see shapes moving beyond the trees, hear whispers in their rooms when no one else was there. And one by one, people disappeared. Aaron, Claire, then Mr. Dawson, then Sophie, until only Liam remained. He never spoke of it, never dared. But every night he kept his closet door shut tight, because he knew the Watcher was still waiting.